I'm going to ask you to find a comfortable seat for you. As always, this is your practice. This is not my practice. This is your practice. So, wherever you are today, I want you to meet yourself there. And just allow yourself to be there. That's what I'm doing. Still in the middle of a move, as you may notice. I'm in a new space today, which is exciting. I have a new little yoga space. It is not totally set up yet, so I'm not showing the whole space, but I really love it. So I'm excited to teach from this space today. Once you've found your comfortable seat, I'll invite you to close your eyes. Notice your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest and your shoulders, your belly. Notice where your seat is meeting the ground or your chair. And notice any sounds that may be around you. And just allow them to be there. Allow them to be part of your practice today. Maybe you can hear cars going by outside, or a fan in the background. Or maybe it's just the sound of your own breath. Today I thought I would do something a little different. I have done this in the past as well. I don't do it all that often. It just felt like I wanted to share some words with everyone today. So I found an oracle deck in my boxes of things that I brought with me. And I'll just pull an affirmation card today. That's going to be helpful for not only me, but everyone. All right. The one that flipped up for today is about gratitude. It's the number 40, and it's the power of support. So I am grateful for all the love and support I receive. It is the most precious of life's gifts. That is true for me. So let's just take a moment. If you have your eyes closed or maybe a soft gaze, to think about all of the people that love and support you in this moment. And feel that feeling of gratitude. Feel it well up inside of you. Maybe it's in your belly or your heart. Just feel it in your body, that gratitude. Where do you feel it? And wherever that gratitude starts, let it begin to fill the rest of your body from that place. Let it spread, widen, until it fills your whole body from your fingertips, top of your head, to your tippy toes. I am grateful for all the love and support I receive. It is the most precious of life's gifts. I am grateful for all the love and support I receive. It is the most precious of life's gifts. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. And a long, slow, deep breath out. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. And you can keep your eyes closed here. Or with a soft gaze, you can inhale the arms up over the head. Really extend your spine, reach for the ceiling, and then exhale that right hand down to the right side. Lean the body over to the left. Reach the left fingertips towards the left. Breathe into the left side, the rib cage. As we hold this, you might find that you can reach a little bit deeper. Keep the left hip and the left knee grounded, meaning keep them reaching towards the ground. On your next inhale, you can come back through center, reach towards the ceiling, and exhale the left hand down to the left side, reach the body over to the left. Remember to breathe here. Really breathe into the right side of the rib cage. Keep reaching those fingertips. Maybe you can feel that stretch all the way into your little pinky, your right pinky. Inhale the arms back up through center. Reach towards the ceiling, extend the spine. And bring the hands back down behind you. Let your fingertips face forward. Arch into the back. Keep the head looking forward. Breathe into the chest for a small back bend here. And you can come forward back to neutral. If you were sitting in a chair, you can either come down to the ground now, or you can do a little cat-cow seated by bringing your hands to your knees and moving your spine in the same way that I will guide those that want to be on the floor to a cat-cow. So we'll begin by bringing knees underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders, wrists underneath shoulders. Come into a neutral tabletop. And on your next inhale, you can start to drop the belly towards the mat. Bring the chest forward, head to look up. And exhale, tuck the tailbone round through the spine. Push the ground away. Bring the crown of the head towards the ground for cat. And follow your own breath here. Inhale on cow. Exhale on cat. If you are seated in a chair, you can do the same thing with your hands on your knees. Just looking to wake up the spine a bit this morning. And we'll come back to a neutral spine. And take some movements here that feel good to you in your body today. For me, that's rocking back and forth, my hips rocking back and forth. Doing some little circles. Getting into my low back a little bit here. And wherever you're at, you can come back to a neutral position. If you're on the floor, you can bring your hands, a handprint out, or step your hands, a handprint out. Tuck the toes. Begin to lift the hips into the air. And we're not looking for straight legs here as the practice. We're looking for elongated spine. You want to press the weight of your weight into your knuckles, where your fingers meet your palms. Roll the shoulders back and down the spine. If you're seated, you can take a little forward fold. Just let your body hang over your legs. And if you're in downward facing dog on your mat, you can start to walk the legs out. Start to bring one heel towards the ground and then the other. Take an inhale, raise up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward, and just walk your feet up towards your hands. It's the top of the mat for a forward fold here. We're meeting those that are in their chairs in a little forward fold. You can bend your knees here as much as you'd like. We're just looking for feeling a little bit of a stretch on the back of the legs with an elongated spine. So we're not looking to round through the spine to try and get into our forward fold. We're going to hinge from the hips. Keep an elongated spine down, reaching for the ground. If that means putting a little bit more of a bend in the hips or the knees, we can do that. If that means finding a prop, maybe even a water bottle to put your hands on to help keep your elongated spine, you can do that as well. And again, just meet your body where it's at today and allow yourself to be there. You don't have to think about the past of how maybe you didn't do as much stretching or as much mobility or as much strength or exercise or whatever it is that you think you should be doing. Don't should on yourself. Just allow yourself to be where you're at today and know that you're showing up right now, here in this moment. You are here, showing up for your body. Day 1, day 12, day 360, whatever day it is for you, you're here and you showed up. And today is the beginning of the rest of your life. However cheesy that may sound, it is true. And you have made this decision here right now to show up. And you can make it again tomorrow. Or maybe you won't. And that's okay too. Remember to breathe. It's always such a good reminder. Now, wherever you are, we're all going to meet here and bending our knees, starting to put the weight into the feet. And slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. When you get to your shoulders, roll them back and down your spine. The head comes up last. Take a long, slow, deep breath in and a long, slow, deep breath out. I am just turning to face the camera, but you can stay right where you're at, wherever you are. And feel into your feet now. I encourage you to play with closing your eyes here. If you feel dizzy or off balance, definitely go ahead and open your eyes again. It's very natural to feel dizzy or off balance when you have your eyes closed. If you are still feeling that way when you open your eyes, sit down. And you can always try again with your eyes open and focused on one single point. So again, we're focusing on the feet. Focus on where they are. Maybe check to see if they're hip distance apart. To do that, you can bring your two fists between your feet, right between your big knuckles, or you can draw a line from your big toes all the way up your leg and to your hip bones. And once you've determined your hip distance apart with your feet, you can start to sway back and forth. And instead of bending your body back and forth, see if you can just sway your weight from one foot to the other. Feel your feet and the ground and how moving your weight back and forth changes where you can feel your foot pressed into the ground. And start to go from forward to back as well. Into the toes, back into the heels. Maybe even do a little circle so you can feel how your weight shifts around the foot. And then see if you can get your weight to be right in the middle. If you can feel your whole foot, each foot planted into the ground. And once you've done that, lift all 10 toes off of the ground. See how that engages the front of your lower leg. Engage your thighs, the front of your thigh, the back of your thigh. Imagine you're trying to pull the ground apart with your feet. And notice how that engages your whole legs. You're pulling the ground apart with your feet. Engage your low abs and your glutes. Squeeze your whole lower body. Squeeze your abs, your upper abs. Roll your shoulders back and down your spine and keep your back engaged. You're opening the chest. We're not flaring the ribs out. We're keeping the ribs tucked in with the abdomen. Roll the shoulders back. Ribs tucked in. Not flared out, tucked in. So we have the whole lower body engaged, the abs engaged, back engaged. Bring the hands to the sides, palms face forward. Spread the fingers wide as you can get them. Imagine you are trying to push against a wall, and there's also a wall pushing against the back of you. So imagine that you're pushing back with your back, but pushing forward with your arms. Does that make sense? We're engaging the whole back and the whole arms, both arms. Engage your whole body. Bring your chin to parallel with the ground. Press the head back just a bit, not too far so you're not falling back, but just see if you can keep it in line, one line with your spine. And this is mountain pose. You are a strong mountain. And we can relax. Bring the toes back down to the ground. I'd like to do a little bit of a balancing practice today because I think balance is really important, especially as one gets older. I believe it's after 30, your balance starts to get worse and worse. So it is very important for you to work on it. So we are going to bring the weight into the left foot. Spread the left toes wide, lift them up, spread them wide, and then set them back down. So you have a wide base to start with. We're gripping into the ground with that left foot, and then bring the weight over into that foot. You can start to bring the right foot over towards the left and start to bring the heel off of the ground, just like a little kickstand here. We're in a little kickstand. The knee is out to the side. And this is tree pose here. You can bring hands to heart center and bring them up overhead like a tree. Wherever you are, find a focal point for your eyes to rest on. This is called drishti in yoga, but you want to find one single unmoving point for you to focus on as you are in your balanced posture. It will help you focus on staying balanced and not as wobbly. If you do wobble out of the posture, just know that's normal. That is part of the practice. If you feel like you are ready and you want to, you can start to bring that foot up onto the calf. If you want to stay right where you are, that is perfectly fine as well. See, this is a little wobble here. This is your second variation of tree pose. Maybe you notice at this point your left foot burning a little bit. I know I do. If you would like another variation of tree pose, you can bring that foot all the way up above the knee, not onto the knee, but above the knee, onto your thigh. And this doesn't ever really work for me. So if it works for you, feel free to stay there. But it doesn't work for me. So that's not my practice today. I am actually just going to stay in kickstand because that is my favorite variation at this moment. But wherever you are, meet yourself there. Allow your body to be there. You are a huge, beautiful tree, rooted into the ground. And we can bring that right foot back down. Do whatever you need to shake out that left foot. Maybe roll it around on the ground a little bit. And we'll do the same on the other side. So remember your focal point, your drishti. Lift the right toes off the ground, spread them wide, set them back down. Bring the weight over into the right leg. Already wobbly today. And as you are ready, you can begin to bring that left heel up onto the right ankle for a little kickstand here. It's kind of hard to see here as well, and I did forget to mention on the other side, but you want to try and keep your hips level. So I think it's easier if I put my hands on my hips here. So instead of collapsing into that right hip or pushing it up too far, pushing that left hip up too far, you want to try and keep your hips fairly level here in tree, whether your leg is on the calf, on the thigh, or in kickstand. So there we go. And if you don't have a mirror or a camera that you're looking at to tell whether your hips are level or not, you can kind of feel if you're collapsing into that hip, it's going to feel like you're sticking that hip out a lot more. Or the space between your rib cage. Maybe that's easier to tell. You want to make that about level between your rib cage and your hips. If you haven't already, you can make your way into your final variation of your tree pose. Whatever that looks like for you today. Nope, not going to get it on that side either. And that's just perfectly fine. Maybe today I feel like this one on this side. Or maybe it's just kickstand. Not just kickstand. Maybe it's kickstand today. Take one more long, slow, deep breath here. Maybe hands are at heart center or again above like a tree. And you can bring that left foot back down. Shake out the right foot. Do whatever you need. Thought I was going to sneeze there. Didn't sneeze. All right. Notice how your feet feel. You can march them out a little bit. And let's bring the feet wide. Really, really wide now. Much wider than hip distance, much wider than shoulder distance even. And we're going to take a wide-legged forward fold here. So if you do have a chair, you can bring in front of you or maybe a block or like a water bottle if you have a water bottle. And we're going to bend from the hips. Again, I'm going to turn sideways so this is easier to see. So wide-legged forward fold. We're hinging from the hips, not rounding through the spine. Hinging from the hips with an elongated spine. We're going to come down and use that prop to keep the spine elongated. Try not to lock out through the hip or the knees either. Keep a slight bend in the knees, or you can even bend much further into your knees. Especially if you don't have a prop to get to the ground, you can bend into your knees. But you want to try and keep that elongated spine. And then we're just going to heel toe the hips in just a bit. You want to be about as wide as your mat. So that's going to be, if you bring your heels to the edge of the mat, big toes are on the edge of the mat, the rest of the toes are off of the mat. That's about a 45-degree angle. And then we're just going to bring the hips down into our yogi squat. And then I'll face this direction so you can see what I'm doing here. So feet about as wide as the mat. And I'm going to bring the hips down below the knees here. And you can sway back and forth, really feel into your hips here. Find your own range of motion. Maybe notice where your hips feel especially tight. Is it on the inside of the hip, or maybe in your low back, or wherever it is? Just play here in your squat. If you'd like, if you have a block or a stack of books or a small stool where you can still keep your hips lower than your knees, even a stair, one stair step you can do. See if you can find some stillness in your squat. You can also not use a prop here and use your strength to keep yourself in your squat. You can bring your elbows to the inside of your thighs, your hands heart center, and push your hands together. It helps push your hips farther apart if that feels good to you. Remember to breathe. This posture is really good for your digestion. For grounding. Take one more long, slow, deep breath here. And then you can either let the hips come down to the ground and sit on the ground, but that is not in my practice. So I like to bring my hands in front of me, let the weight come into my hands just a bit to bring my knees down to the ground. And I'm going to just sit back onto our heels. And just take a moment here. Let's bring the weight forward, let it come into the hands just a bit, and tuck the toes. See if you can get all 10 toes tucked under you so that you can feel all 10 toes on the ground. And maybe sitting right here is enough to stretch your feet for you. Or you can take it further, and this is just going to be an uncomfortable posture, sometimes even painful. And I know that generally I say to let pain be your guide. If you feel any sharp pain, you want to move away from that and just move into a maybe discomfort. But this is going to be just painful. And we're going to sit here for just a bit. This really helps to get into the fascia in the bottom of your foot. If you have plantar fasciitis or just any foot pain, this can help. So help to stretch out the bottom of the foot. And as I know I've mentioned before, your fascia is connected in your body. So you have a length of fascia that is connected from the very bottom of the tips of your toes all the way over your heel, up the back of your leg, all the way up your back, up the back of your head, and to your eyebrows. This one length of fascia that goes all the way up the back of your body. So stretching it out here helps the rest of that length of fascia as well. So I think we've sat here just about long enough. I usually like to do about 2 minutes, and we're almost there now. So take one long, slow, deep breath here. Allow yourself to be here in this place of discomfort. No, it won't last forever, even if it feels like it will. And then you can bring the weight forward, come into your hands. You can slowly let the toes untuck. Some people like to tap their feet out here. I actually like to wag my heels back and forth, kind of let my toes be massaged on the floor a little bit after that. And we're gonna sit back on our heels again, toes untucked this time. And we'll find a stretch on the front of the legs here. Maybe this is plenty of stretch for you, and if it is, that's great. You can stay right here. If you'd like a little bit more, you can start to lean back. And maybe this is enough stretch so you can stay right there. If you'd like a little bit more, you can even start to lift the knees off the ground. And I'm seeing that you can't really see that as well. But the knees, the lower leg comes off of the ground and the knee lifts. That's to really stretch the front of the ankles. So this is the opposite stretch. Remember to breathe here. Long, slow, deep breaths. If you are leaning back, make sure you don't let your head hang. Continuing to look forward. And in these moments of discomfort, see if you can bring that feeling of gratefulness back into your body. Can you feel grateful here? Do you remember at the beginning, I am grateful for all the love and support I receive. It is the most precious of life's gifts. Can you feel that gratefulness here? Maybe the support of the floor. Maybe you can be grateful for the support of the floor here. Or maybe you can say, no, Kama, I cannot feel grateful in this pose. I am very uncomfortable, and I would really like you to be telling us to get out of it right now. And that could also be true. Just take one more long, slow, deep breath in. Long, slow, deep breath out. And on that exhale, you can come forward. Bring the hands to the mat in front of you, or the floor in front of you, and you can start to bring the legs out long with the toes tucked under. And you don't have to lift yourself up too far here, just to find a stretch on the back of the calves now. And we can come back down to the ground. Bring the knees to the ground, swing the legs over to one side. The legs can come out long. And reach the arms forward. And then slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Really engage your abdomen here. And see how slowly you can make your way down to the ground. One vertebrae at a time. Use your abdomen, engage your core. Shoulders come down, head comes down last. And I am very close to this wall here, so we'll see how the end of this practice goes. Let's bring the knees in towards the chest. And rock the body back and forth here. Give yourself a little low back massage. And let's bring the knees wide and reach the hands through the inside of the knees for the outside of the feet. If it's hard to reach your feet, you can always use a couple of straps or belts or whatever scarves to put around your feet here to find happy baby. You can also do one leg at a time, which sometimes is a little easier. And breathe. Take long, slow, deep breaths in, long, slow, deep breaths out. And allow your body to just settle in here. Notice where you're feeling any stretch you might feel. Notice how you're feeling internally here. And again, just allow yourself to be, allow yourself to feel whatever it is that's coming up for you. Remember those long, slow, deep breaths in, long, slow, deep breaths out. You can start to bring the feet together and release the hands from the feet. Bring the knees together, hug them into the chest. Rock the knees side to side. And then allow the knees to come over to the right. Keep your shoulders grounded, your shoulder blades on the ground. If this twist feels a bit too much for you today, you can bring your knees back to center, let your feet come down to the mat, and then just allow your knees to fall over to the right. If you liked that twist, you can just come back to bring your knees one on top of the other over to the right. If you'd like a little more twist, you can always bring your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. And if you like more, you can start to straighten that bottom leg. Always meet your body where you're at today. And as a last part of the twist, if you'd like, you can bring your head over to look over your left shoulder, looking over towards the left. Remember to breathe those long, slow, deep breaths in, long, slow, deep breaths out. As you're ready, you can bring your head back to center, bring your knees back to center, and then let them come over to the left. Again, keep your shoulders grounded, your shoulder blades on the ground. Bring your head to look over your right shoulder, over to the right. Remember to breathe. You can bring your head back to center, your knees back to center. Hug the knees into the body one more time. You can lift the head. Give yourself a little hug here. And then let the legs come out long and wide, maybe as wide as the mat or wider. The arms come out to the side, out to your sides. Press the back of the head into the mat to find space to roll your shoulders back and down your spine underneath you. It helps to open your chest. Your palms can come face up. And allow yourself to feel that gratitude one more time in your body. Remember those words. I am grateful for all the love and support I receive. It is the most precious of life's gifts. I'm grateful for all the love and support I receive. It is the most precious of life's gifts. Again, let that gratitude fill your body. Take a long, slow, deep breath in, and a long, slow, deep breath out. And as you exhale, just allow your body to settle into the ground. allow the ground to support you. Allow yourself to be grateful for the support and knowing that that support is always there for you. Notice all the places where your body is meeting the ground, where you're being supported. Your heels, your calves, your thighs, your glutes, your shoulder blades, your shoulders, back of the arms, back of the hands, back of the head. Allow your forehead to soften, your eyes to sink into the back of your head, and your jaw to release. Take any last thoughts that you may be having and send them off with a last, I am grateful for the love and support I receive. And then let that thought to dump out of the top of the head onto the mat, the floor, and away from you. And allow yourself to be here in this space, just the way you are. Start to bring some awareness back into your breath. You can roll your head from side to side. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring some movement into your wrists and ankles. Do some little circles. Allow that movement to come into your arms and your legs. And then you can bring your arms overhead, your legs together, and stretch your hands away from your toes for one last long stretch. And then bring your knees back into your chest. Gently rock from side to side. Eventually rocking all the way over onto one side. You can use your bicep as a pillow. And take a long, slow, deep breath here. And as you're ready, only as you're ready, you can use the strength of your arms to help push you back up to a seat. You can keep your eyes closed or gaze soft. Let's take a long, slow, deep breath in and sigh it out. Allow whatever sound needs to come out to come out. Let's do that 3 more times. Take an inhale. Sigh it out. Again, inhale. Sigh it out. Last time. Inhale. Sigh it out. You can bring your hands to heart center. I am so grateful for all of the love and support I receive. Remember this as you go through your day today. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice and into your body a little bit today. I appreciate everyone that shows up for these videos, and thank you so much.